Greetings, Batavia Mayor Jeff Schielke speaking to you on Friday, November 4th, 2022. And I just want to revert back about a week to last Saturday, which was October 29th. And on that day, downtown Batavia here had a turnout of young people, probably almost unlike any we've ever seen before. We're not sure. We think it was easily between 1,500 and 2,000 kids wandering around here at various parts of the day. And they were here for the Halloween trick-and-treat trail or battle or whatever we wanted to call it. Everybody just came on down between 10 and 2, and they came. And we had parades, and then we had partial parades, and then we had all kinds of demonstrations, and it was a real fun time. And I got rave reviews from many of the parents of the children that were involved. And a lot of due credit belongs to specifically the Batavia Chamber of Commerce and the Batavia Main Street folks and the Batavia Park District folks, because those folks and their staffs really did rise to the occasion and help it out. And I'm also proud to say that another key factor was the outstanding presence and degree of cooperation that was given by the Batavia Police Department and the Batavia Fire Department. And they were both very active in all the affairs, and the police did a lot of nice favors for people that were having trouble carrying things and getting across streets, and the Fire Department led the one parade that we had with the costume folks in it. So it was a memorable moment. I'm sure there were literally thousands of photographs taken. And it's something that many people, I'm sure, in their younger days will remember this going into the rest of their life, of the fun times they had in downtown Batavia on the weekend of Halloween. So I just take my hat off to all those involved and thank everybody that was involved. And it looks like the fun isn't over. Tomorrow on Saturday, November 5th, it appears that we are going to have the Batavia High School football game that's going to be played with Arlington Herscher High School. And it should be it's one of the games leading toward the state championship. So I'm sure the attendance is going to be high, and you're going to have a whole bunch of folks wanting to come in and from out of town and see it. So if you're driving out on West Wilson Street or Main Street tomorrow by the high school, be prepared to spend a little extra time getting through, because I think there's going to be a pretty good crowd on hand. Doesn't sound like the weather may be as cooperative as it has been the past 2 weekends, but I'm sure that's not going to stop the die-hard Batavia football fans from wanting to be out there and to cheer on their teams. This past week I had the opportunity on Thursday to speak at the annual Batavia Chamber of Commerce Mayor's Breakfast and give an update of what is happening in Batavia. I covered a wide variety of subjects, but several that got a lot of attention, where there were a lot of people very excited to know that the Randall 16 movie theater, although I think it's going to have a new name associated with it, will open up sometime after the first of the year, probably near the end of spring, because they're going to be building a new east wall on large parts of the building and bringing in one of the largest movie screens in the state of Illinois to be there. And they're also going to be redoing a lot of the interior of the building and putting in meeting rooms where people can have parties, or you can have receptions, or you can have a follow-up following a funeral. And they've got some very innovative ideas out there, and I think it's going to be a place of a lot of interest in Batavia when it reopens. And it's being done by a theater operation out of Troy, Michigan, who's got a very strong reputation for themselves. And so I think Batavia has a lot to look forward to. Another piece of news I shared was, I'm hesitant to say a number, I think it's probably near 5, but we are now in conversations, and at least some are under construction, of new restaurants that are coming into Batavia, both on Randall Road and in downtown. And so we hopefully know more about exact times and names and whatever. I don't want to start any false rumors here, but we are talking to at least 5 different restaurants, and we are having a lot of interest in other properties along Randall Road and in downtown. So we're running at an all-time high. And the other thing I shared is that in the growth of our community right now, between the subdivisions that have been approved and those under construction, we are clearly going to see another over 500 new residents in various forms, either in apartment style or like out at the landings. That's not an apartment, that's a senior living community. But they're filling up their residents right now, and we're going to have, we just issued the last permit for the Batavia Commons out at Wind Energy and Kirk Road. And when that's totally built out, that'll be 242 attached townhouses. And then we have the Winding Creek subdivision, which is out on McKee Street between kind of the back end of Coles going down to the back end of the old Sam's Club building. And we are hearing about a lot of activity out there as far as construction. And Batavia's got a lot of stuff really wrapping and rolling here. So I just wanted to let everybody know we got a lot of good things happening, and nobody seems to be moving out as much as they're moving in. And so we're hopeful that Batavia is on a road to a prosperous future in the days ahead. Today I've asked Chief Blowers from the Deputy Chief Blowers from the Batavia Police Department if he would talk for a few minutes about a kind of a sad moment in Batavia. We are experiencing a lot of attempted crimes against senior citizens. And it's almost becoming a daily occurrence where the department is investigating some senior who was contacted by somebody trying to pull a scheme on him. And so I'm going to ask Deputy Chief Blowers if he would just share with us some of the experiences some of the seniors in Batavia have had recently, and also give us maybe some ideas on what we can do if we are confronted with these in the days ahead. So Chief Blowers.
Thank you, Mayor. We do unfortunately have a lot of scams and scheme incidents that are occurring, targeting both our senior population as well as just all demographics throughout our population. Primarily what we're talking about is these unwanted calls, texts, and emails that people are receiving. Generally, you're receiving these, they're either telemarketing calls or they're scams. Please know you're not alone. In 2021 alone, over 50 billion robocalls and scam calls went out to Americans nationwide. So while Batavia is experiencing this is unfortunately a problem that's happening everywhere throughout the country. Right now, according to the Federal Trade Commission, who's the federal agency tasked with protecting consumers against these types of scams and schemes, some of the most recent and prevalent scams being seen right now include some of the following. There's imposters pretending to be your internet or phone company. Seniors on Medicare are being specifically targeted with an offer of free COVID tests. The auto warranty robocalls are extremely prevalent. Any host or any number of emails and calls impersonating well-known businesses like Amazon, Apple, and Best Buy. Scammers pretending to be your utility company, or scams that are advising you that you're inheriting money from a lost relative. These are all really popular scams right now, and unfortunately are things that have plagued some of the citizens of Batavia and citizens in the Chicagoland area. So again, why are you getting these calls? Why do these scam calls keep coming into your phone? All of these scams and all of these calls have one purpose in mind, and that's to either get your personal information or to get your money. What do they do with your personal information may vary. So they might be looking for your credit card numbers so that they can use your credit card numbers to make purchases. They might be seeking access to your accounts so that they can transfer money in and out of your accounts, or take over your accounts and take custody of your assets. Or they might be looking to open accounts using your personal information with your name and with your identity. They all vary, they're all unique and individual, but they're all eventually trying to achieve the same goal and the same end, which is to steal your money or to steal your identity. So really the best way to protect yourself is potentially prevention. There's a number of different ways that you can prevent some of these calls from even getting to you in the first place. Reach out to your phone carrier. Whether you have a landline or a cell phone, your phone carrier has screening methods and ability to help prevent some of these calls from getting through to you. A lot of us all have smartphones. Check the settings on your smartphone. There are ways for you to block unknown callers or block calls that are specifically determined or designated as spam or scams. There are also different apps that you can download on your smartphone that are high-tech and either are able to label or block unknown callers so that you are readily alerted in the event that a scam is likely coming into you. And if you only have a landline, there's also devices that you can purchase and hook up to your phone that can do the same thing as those apps on those smartphones. So anything that you can do to prevent yourself from getting these calls, from prevent them, then you'll be less likely to be tricked or duped into providing personal information or providing any of access to any of your money. So as always, be extremely wary of unsolicited communications from companies. Verify the source of the call before doing business with them. Call police or ask a trusted family member. If you're unsure about the source of a call, text, we're more than happy to help you assess the information or the call that you're receiving and determine whether or not it's legitimate or if there's something that you should be concerned about. We're more than happy. Go ahead and call 911 and an officer can help go through that and assess that situation. As always, report fraud or fraud attempts to local law enforcement and to the Federal Trade Commission. Along with this video, we're going to be posting a link to the Federal Trade Commission website. There's a lot of resources and information. They actually have real scam calls that have been placed and recorded that you can listen to so you can get a feel for what these scam calls sound like and be alerted to know what to look for when you are receiving these calls so that you're not tricked or duped into providing information. And then they keep up with the latest trends that are being seen so that you can educate yourself. So please, after listening to this video, please click on that link and educate yourself on how to prevent from becoming a victim. Back to you, Mayor.
Thank you, Deputy Chief Flowers. I just want to reiterate to our residents that this is a real situation and that we really do have a number of people who have been victimized, and some have lost money and some have lost credit cards that had to be then changed over, and it was much to do about stuff. So please be very, very cautious about this, because this is coming at you over the computer, over the phone. It's all a kind of a crime of technology, and it's really causing a lot of dismay to a lot of people, specifically elderly folks. So with that, we will conclude today. I want to thank the Chief again for his excellent presentation, and please take a look at what he's presented and know what could possibly be arriving on your doorstep or on your computer screen or on your TV screen. So be very, very cautious and careful, and we will look forward to talking to you next week. Thank you.